Yes, big dogs, and welcome to what is really officially the first YouTube training session of the off-season for me. I'm still in the, we'll call it a cruise phase, recovery phase, whatever you want to call it. Just come over for training camp with Big Dog. Phoebe's away in, like you saw in my last video, Phoebe's away in America at the minute, competing in Sasquatch. So while there's a little bit of time and we can get sat down and go over what we're going to do in off-season, it's a perfect opportunity for us to do that. We've got pull today, so I'm just going to follow Nath's session. It's a little bit different to what I normally do. I'm on the RDLs, he does SLDLs, but generally the volume and things are going to be similar to what I've been doing, so I'll just follow that session today before we get proper locked in and programmed in. But we're in Ultraflex Derby, an amazing facility. You've seen me training here before, but it's just leveling up every time I come here. Just little small things that are really catering towards bodybuilding more so than any other gym in the area, or really that I've been to. It's just taking it to that notch. And when people who own a gym like this care that much, you know that you're in good hands. They're really concerned about the members and not just turning a profit, which is obviously what you do in a business, but also happy members bring other people and, again, more profit. So we've got a little bit of legs in today as well, haven't we?
Yeah, so pull and legs, so SLDL and then upper back and lat work. And then we've got a set of seated hamstring curl, a set of single leg press. My volume on my full leg day is pretty low. So it's spread evenly across the week, just to focus on bringing the upper body up and getting more volume, more frequency across my upper body, which is a little bit what Jimmy needs. We'll see if he enjoys this session, and it's something that we could potentially incorporate into his split. But we're going to sit down and go through everything over the next couple of days: nutrition, training, drugs, supplementation, get everything locked in for a big 18 months, an exciting 18 months of growing, but growing in the right way. We're not going to force anything. We're just going to take it nice and steady, keep insulin sensitivity in a good spot, keep all health biometrics in a good spot, keep digestion in a good spot, because that's king. That's what's held you back in the past, hasn't it? Like digestion going and...
Yeah, just having to, I think like a lot of the look has been skewed a lot of the time. Well, it clearly has, from going for such an extreme to such in body weight. I think there's a lot of issues where the food's been way too high, potentially with again the magnesium issue that we've spoken about and not being able to uptake nutrients properly.
Yeah.
I think my blood pressure and my sleep apnea has been a massive problem. And I think just because of the aggression of pushing drugs, training, food, and just how I'm programmed as an individual has just probably allowed me to be more toxic and not as responsive to what I'm doing. So this time actually taking the time, everything's still, I'm an Ifbb pro. I want to put 20 pounds of muscle on a frame that's been training 16 years. So it's not going to be, I'm not going to be using 500 gram of gear, 500
gear, yeah.
Just a lot less aggressive. And over the next 18 months, if I can put 1 pound of solid tissue on a month, that's 20 pounds of stage weight. That's really where I gonna need to be. So
yeah.
Food goes up slowly, no rush, quality tissue, and as healthy and as responsive as possible through that. So we've got Big Dog in number 2 today as well.
Yes, we're here.
After his off plan last night, how did you feel? You feel a bit hungover?
You feeling over today?
Well, it was, didn't I? Oh, absolutely. Honestly, this morning I sucked a mattress.
Oh yeah.
Wow, so
I didn't get out of bed till 6, and I'm an hour later.
Yeah, I feel hungover. I feel. Right, Big Dog. So exercise 1, like Big Dog says, Big Dog's SLDL. So we're using the Rogue bar, which is a really stiff bar. So for me personally, I prefer to use the Texas bar because you get that little bit of play before it comes up, and it's not it's not on you from such a stretched position, the weight. So when you're down here, you have a little bit of leeway before it actually grips your hamstrings and your glutes properly. So it's safer technically, in my book anyway. But again, nothing ridiculously heavy today. I'd like to get up to a 7-plate SLDL or RDL this year. For a good 6 to 8 rep range. It's going to take some time, but definitely doable, especially when I've got some more weight behind me. So see how this goes. I think maybe just 1 set today on these. Just going to follow Nafe's volume. I have been doing 2 on my RDLs, but also my grip's been going quite a lot. Just at the minute, I just don't have that grip strength even with the straps to hold it. Don't have the bracing ability either. So just really working now. I had an off-plan meal last night. I feel pretty good. Felt a little bit sluggish before, even though it's chicken bread and a clean Turkish. But I'm just saying, like, the oils that are in that food and just the volume that we're not used to just makes you feel a little bit shitty. But I've just done a couple of warm-up sets there and I feel good. So probably do a 4.5 plates today to see where we are. Nothing daft, and just control it. See how it feels. Yes, then. Easy. Yes, come on, drive from the floor up. Floor up, hips forward, go. Bang, good. There's more, Nif. From the floor, drive from the floor, good. Yes. Good. How many were that? 9?
I don't know.
I didn't count.
I just left 1 in, one or 2 in.
I might just do 4.5 and then do it slower, like that. Drive from the floor up, drive your hips through. So drive hips through there, boom. Good. Hips earlier, hips earlier. Hips forward straight away. That's it, there you go. Big deep breath. Nice and tight from the bottom. Go.
Yes.
Hips again, more hips.
1 more.
Drive it, drive hips.
There
Nice.
you go. Best set you've ever done that. Best set you've ever done.
So do you see when you start pulling like this, it's heavy. But when you start pulling like this, your hip hinging. That's a hinge. Yeah? So it's not up and down, it's back and forward. So as soon as you start pressing your hips through, using more posterior rather than just pulling from floor.
Good that.
Good.
Easy work, big dog. Big fucking set. Come on then. Here we go, 1 set. Nice, Jim. Hips through. Easy work, 2 more. Good, this is 8. Yes, there, that'll do you. Good shot. There were more there, but you didn't need to.
Yeah, I didn't. If you'd have asked me 7, 8 months ago, I'd have said I'd never use logbook again. And it's not something I'm like specifically married to, but it's a good gauge of where my strength is at, and also how I'm setting machines up, what setting, what sort of, how I've performed the reps, slow with a squeeze. I've been a bit more aggressive here and there. So it's more of a reference than a Bible. So don't take too much emphasis on this, because it will send you west if you think about doing this perfectly. Unless you're somebody whose day, like myself, is identical every day, apart from obviously today, then you can probably use a logbook efficiently and properly, and you have the mental capacity to just not cheat in your reps. But if you're somebody who's got a normal job, where one day you may be moving boxes where the next day you might not be, the progression is never going to be the same, because your energy output is going to be different every day. So it's not always a great tool, always, but it's a very good reference. So into single arm, getting the lat short, obviously. Standard sort of posterior pull session, pull from the floor or a hinge, whether that be a deadlift, SLDL, RDL, and then typically going into like a single arm lat movement where the lat's fresh in the session so you can get it short. I'm not usually a fan of this machine. But actually that felt quite nice. So it's making sure the load is appropriate to what you can feel on your lat, especially in the contracted position.
Nice, big dog. Spend a bit of time at the top. Good. Go on, the big dog. Nice, Jim.
So in for exercise 3. So prime extreme row, but I never really use this neutral. I don't really like it neutral too much. I find it hard to keep my scapula down on this side to hit my lat properly. If we're going to use it neutral, it'd be upper back, not upper and mid back, or not mid back and a little bit of upper back while I'm trying to hit here. I like to use it overhand, really good for my upper back, like later on in the session, loading it from the top mainly. So we'll see how we get on here. Again, just a massive stretch in the thoracic, allowing you to take the load, sinking your chest into the pad, and then almost bringing your spine round as you come up, but not enough to move the weight with your spine, just allowing yourself to get that harder contraction, almost like leaning into a bicep curl. But again, just it looks like we're just doing one set. So Nath basically feels his sessions out at the minute. He's a few weeks plus show, like 3 weeks in front of me, so even though I feel quite fresh today, I could definitely get away with doing 2 sets on most things. We'll just follow suit. And if anything, it sets me up nicely. I need to be fresh for when we start cycle. There's just 500 testing at the minute, which is, you know, pretty much my cruise dose there, so.
Come on, Jimbo.
Yep. Let's stretch it out, like. There we go. Come on. Again. Come on.
Yep.
Yes. Always left you, Matt. Drag it. Come on. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. That'll do you, Jim.
That's really nice, that like that. Nice control, yeah. Just taking the time through that.
Yeah.
First portion, and then squeezing it.
Fucking squeeze you.
Yeah. So it's 3 hours since I had my pre-workout meal. Then I usually eat in 2.5 hours for my post-workout, as in like my protein feeding. So there will be a point, like I said, where my carbs go through. I have an intra-carb, just some cyclodextrin with some salt and some creatine throughout my session. And I'll still just spike this in the middle, just with the aminos, and the rest will just be my intra. But for now, again, just putting carbs, like, so I'm not drinking them, just for satiety. Just so my ghrelin sort of drops and my leptin goes up a bit. With the electrolytes in it, almost makes it like taste like it's fizzy. It's weird, it's nice. And I'll just drink this over the course of the next minute or so. If it was on my own, I'd just stand and drink it, but it's my warm-up set and I don't want to hold the guys up. But basically, just like a feeding of protein. So, well, we're at a dilemma. I've obviously been talking about moving to Thailand for 6 months and going away. And actually, I don't know if that's going to happen now. The reason being is obviously I went through a breakup and stuff like that, and I was a little bit lost in bodybuilding at the time. After all the effort I've put in, like my physique was just disappearing, and we didn't know what the problem was, like the potassium, something, the electrolyte balance. So it was almost like not necessarily running away, but trying to reset, get myself into a position where I'm just away from everything, falling out of love with the process of bodybuilding because there's only so much effort you can apply to something and get nothing back. And actually, I finished my prep. Everything's clear, like mentally, and I'm just firmly back in love with bodybuilding again, like probably more than ever have. And actually, for me to move away from an environment that has my friends in it, my circle, to just again be on my own, training on my own, away from everyone like I do all the time, is probably it's detrimental. I'm going to be in a country where the gym's out as good. The weather's going to probably kill me in the gym. So, Ultraflex Derby. We're looking at some properties in and around Derby. So if I find something suitable, I'll probably move over here and start doing my off-season out here. Joe behind the camera may join me and train with a training partner, push-pull leg style for the next 18 months, pushing my physique to its absolute limit and putting a shit ton of muscle on and just enjoying who the fuck I am, you know, and not just getting caught up in fucking unimportant shit. Like, this is what I do. This is what I am. I make no apologies for that to anyone. And some people will like it, and a lot of people won't. But at the end of the day, this is what I fucking love and it's what I enjoy doing. And I'll do it until I can't do it anymore. And now things are, when I say clearer, it's just the process has restarted. It's like closing a chapter of a book. When you're in that prep, it's like, I can't really leave this. And now the chapter's closed and the new chapter doesn't exist. Doesn't involve Southeast Asia and mopeds, unfortunately. I mean, I can do that when I retire. A little bit contradictory to what the previous plan was. But, you know, my coaching is on fire. My guys, I say this all the time, but me as a coach, me as a bodybuilder, as a person, he's just fucking leveled up like 3 levels in this last 2 or 3 months. And for me then to disappear and not utilise that power bar that I've got that's fucking brimming is stupid. It really is. So head firmly back on in the game. Patience is still a virtue, because this is where you can get out of hand really quickly and easily in terms of pushing things, food, drugs, volume, you know, more. Give me it now. But that's why, again, I'm in an environment with Nathan, Grant, Oscar, who we're going to go and see tomorrow, travel over to Manchester tomorrow to see. And all these guys around me are the few guys that I really respect in terms of their company, their presence and their opinion of being honest with me. And that's what I need. That's what we all need as well. So training where my coach is, in a good environment, getting after it. As an Ifbb pro, which has been my dream for fucking ever since I can remember, it makes no sense to move. So I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
That's small.
What is it after this? Like
Hamstring, single leg. Yeah.
yeah, it's perfect. I don't have to think about it. Just pull 5 exercises and that's back done. I've only got legs. It makes sense. For me, mentally, I find it difficult to go from training back, now switching into legs. It's almost like the work I've done on back is now going to be erased from the work that my legs are going to do, because it's so taxing. Stimulus to fatigue ratio on legs is massive. So we'll see. It does make sense that this is something I can do, but I've also had a discussion in the car with Joe and Nathan on the way here and Oscar early on in the week that I can potentially have some of the best legs in classic physique. I trained my legs 5 times last year. So this year, I'm going to make it a personal endeavour of mine, and I'm saying this here and now, that I'm going to have some of the best legs in classic physique next time I stand on stage, which ultimately is in some of the best legs in the world. Hands down, don't give a fuck. Glutes, hamstrings, quads, everything you name it is going absolutely fucking ballistic this year. I'm going to go back to what built my legs and then some. If that throws my physique out of balance, so be it. But at least I'll have some of the best legs to stand on the stage. At the time I was bodybuilding. Tom Tong, Jimmy Platts. Yes, come on then. Yep. There's another there. Let's take one. Drag. Squeeze hard. Nice. Yeah. Lovely. Right, so it's just one single set again. We've got single leg press next. Are we on there, the Nautilus? Nautilus, so it's actually really nice, this machine. I used it in Muscle Bound Gym in Bradford during prep, very good. It allows you to get a bit of a high foot placement, full control. So, session today as a whole, considering I had an off-plan meal like this off-plan meal I had last night, is actually really, on the face of things, nowhere near as much food as I needed, really. When you're eating chicken and bread and rice, although it's more volume than I'm used to, my calories throughout the day were probably maintenance. The food hasn't translated from yesterday into the session. Like, I can feel a contraction in my muscle, but no pump, it's gone. Like, I can feel a contraction in my hamstrings, but now nothing. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna have a look, but you see that on the camera? I'm still pretty lean. Like I just skin really. My glutes are still in, so I'm still in a depleted body. And I've been purposely staying here, so when we do start cycling, food goes in. Like we can assimilate more carbohydrates when we're on cycle. We can recover better when we're on cycle. So Why do I need to get fresh before I'm on cycle? Technically, really, for me, I don't. I thrive being lean. I'm fine here. I prefer it. So now as we start to probably put the cycle together tonight, training plan together tonight, we'll increase my carbohydrates today by maybe 50 grams, maybe 30 actually from tomorrow, or maybe 10 grams of fat. And then that'll bump me up. And then we'll introduce things like growth hormone, insulin, which again, then additions will help bump me up rather than increasing food. Cycles going. I'll be using Bolden equipoise this off season, and again the serum levels will increase as time goes on, so it gets better. A lot of people don't like Bolden because of the reason why it, raises your RBC, your hematocrit. But for me, it's always in range, always. And after prep, it was. Is there potential kidney damage with equipoise? Seen it in rodents, never seen it in a human. Top athletes, all the top pros, all the top coaches use it. Is it better than Primo? For side effects, potentially not. For volume control and everything it does, probably. Just my 2 pence worth. So test EQ, and then we'll just add a little bit of MPP in the mix when we need to get things a little bit spicier.
Come on, Jim. Here we go, setting the tone for the off-season. Bring in them world-class legs, come on. Fucking show them. There you go. There's a couple there, Jim. Big deep breath. Brace and drive. Yes, take it there, leave it there, that's right. 1 sec, we're good call for it. Yeah. It's going to build some density. Oh, look at this. Got no options. Come on, match it up. Come on, Jim. Take it. Yes, don't rush the reps now. Make them count. Beautiful rep. How many more?
2.
Come on then. Yes, this last one. Come on. Big deep fucking breath. Brace and drive. There we go, finish the rep. Nice.
Right, so we've done back, we've done legs. Now we'll do some arms. Just biceps to finish. I think it's just 2 or 3 sets on a bicep machine. I actually really like the Atlantis machine here. I think we tried to do it, didn't we? So that'll be the machine I use, I think. But yeah, I do really like this gym. Yeah, I love it. Whereabouts in Derbyshire shall I live? Tell me. Any decent areas?
Legs forward. Same fix front.
Are we on, Joe? Hang on. Are we on, Joe? Right, guys, so that is the pull, legs, arms session boxed off. We're just gonna do a couple of minutes in ring. It's just a bit of bag work, and that should do us. I don't know what we're gonna put in there in terms of physique-wise. Like Nathan said there, my midsection is so much tighter. For me, this prep wasn't the one. And I think sometimes, well, I did come to terms with it at 10 weeks out. Well, 9 weeks out, things were looking really good. Then when we just started turning the screw, dialing in a little bit, things just started to go a little bit south, and I wasn't in a position, well, I was, like, mentally I was fine. I always am sound, I love doing it, but I just think in my prep, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, I'm as honest as I will be with everybody, because I feel like there's too much secrecy in the industry and people think everyone's got a perfect life. They don't. I was practically homeless, like I said, I had to go moving with my friends. So, you know, living in a box room, sleeping in a single bed, a 35-year-old man who's like, can be quite demoralizing, really. However, I took that as, do you know what, I'm not just going to move out into somewhere nice, and I'm going to take this as a lesson and an opportunity and actually start to appreciate what I have, which was relationships with friends and my kids and stuff like that, which has really helped massively. But the prep as a whole was 8 months long, I started prep not on cycle. I had bunk drugs for 12 weeks. We were about to pull the prep, and just because I had a bad time, we just kept in a diet phase just to keep myself on track with something to not make me go to like Thailand or something like that. And that turned into a short prep. But I'm not going to take anything away from that apart from the lessons I've learned in and around the last 12 months, really, along with training, nutrition. And I actually do believe now that I'm in a position, mentally, physically, with the knowledge of my body, with the whole magnesium thing, with the whole Nathan having such a close handle on the prep daily, multiple times a day, and my body's still doing what it was doing. It's not a coaching thing, it's not a me thing, it's a internal genetic fucking hypomagnesia thing, which now, touch wood, like now my magnesium's going in, you can see there, everything's so much tighter. Although I'm still super flat and my muscles aren't like full, I'm just in a better place physically. So having an off season now where I build enough tissue, dense tissue, just a repeat of my first couple of years with push-pull leg sort of style, where everything was all out, and just really taking the time to up the food. So now I'm fucking push-up, I'm ravenous. You can still see I'm reasonably lean, but do I actually need more food technically? The answer is really no. With my expenditure, we can pull it down a little bit. We'll put 25 grams of carbs potentially extra in the food. A couple of meals do need bumping up, so I keep going hypoglycemic, but that'll be it. Do I want another 300 carbs? Yeah, obviously. Can I eat? Yeah, easy. But it's like, just because I'm flat, let's just not panic and put loads of food in. Let's put a little bit of food in, let the weight come up a couple of pounds, let's hold that, condition's still the same. Right, okay, now we go again. Now the drugs go in. All right, okay, we put 4 or 5 pounds on from the drugs going in and the higher test. Right, we'll hold that. Do we need more food house performance? Right, no, we'll still hold it. Growth hormone goes in. We'll start to use Lantus. I'm not using insulin this year. No Nova Rapid or Humalog, not needed, Utilising things like L-carnitine through an off-season to keep composition in a better place. T3 staying in super physiological so that I'm metabolising the food just as good or better. So these sort of things, whereas rather than food, and all of a sudden I'm at 7,500, 8,000 calories and high drugs, actually let's just use light coming down. Food, cardio, drugs. Is it on the way up? It's like, right, expenditure's where it needs to be. I'm still going to stay active. I'm not going to do 2,000 steps a day, no cardio like I've always done. I'm going to make sure 20 minutes of cardio stays in every single day. I'm going to do 10,000 steps every single day. Again, so potentially helping with digestion of the food. So all these things that we previously have sort of missed out because my metabolism's so fast and need so much food. Actually, again, like I said, if I can put a pound of muscle on every month, that's 18 pounds of tissue. 18 pounds of tissue in the right areas is a lot of fucking tissue on a frame like me, on a gangly bastard. So that's a bit of a rant. I think I've had a couple of them. Joe might need to cut this down a little bit, but thank you for watching, guys. If you can please like the video. If you're not subscribed and you like it, subscribe. Also leave a comment, drop a comment as well. It helps with the algorithm. And ask any questions. Or let me know what you want to see. Is it more drug stuff? Is it more food stuff? Day in the life stuff? Coaching stuff? Again, like I dropped on my last video, coaching is, open to anybody if you want to jump on. So look at the results. Look at Joe behind camera, he's fucking huge now. But anyway, if you've got this far, thank you for watching, guys. Tune in next time, and see you soon.